So this question comes from Instagram and it's from Golden Standard AutoWorks, and they ask, have you been using the customer's water and electricity your whole time as a detailer? If so, how has that experience been, and what was your biggest motivation for not going to a water tank generator setup? So great question. I've answered this a few times in the past, but figured I'll answer it again since it's been a while. And again, follow me on Instagram if you're not. I've been posting a lot more. I'm replying to a lot more DMs, comments. I'm trying my best to get to all of them, but definitely communicating with those in the DMs as well. So first question, have you been using the customer's water and electricity your whole time as a detailer? No, the first, I don't know, let's say 2-ish years, I used primarily the customer's water and electricity. So if I was at the home location, I would just say like, hey, do you have water, electricity for me to hook up to? Yes, okay, good to go. The customer never, ever minded, questioned it, was off put by me asking that. I mean, even now to this day, like they tell me as soon as they get to the driveway, they're like, hey, electricity right there, water spigot right there. Do you want any water? Restrooms over here. Like they never complained or never assumed that I wasn't gonna use their electricity or power or water. And I mean, that's just a big misconception. Like, and then some beats, and now I'm going off on a tangent, but some beats are like, do you discount it because you're using their power and water? I mean, the actual cost of using their power and water on like a 6-hour detail, it's probably like what, 4 cents, right? So what are you gonna discount, right? Like the inconvenience, like there's nothing really to discount for, because if you're going based off like how much money you're upping their bill, it's like nothing. So yeah, you don't gotta discount your work. Again, I've never had a problem. Many other detailers never have a problem. It's just not a thing. But I used the first 2-ish years. I strictly used the customer's water and power. And if I was not at their home location, so maybe an apartment, maybe their work location, I would still ask, hey, is there a way for me to hook up to water or power? A lot of times, fortunately, I was able to hook up to power and water, so it wasn't really ever a problem. We drive it into the warehouse, we park next to the building. There was an outlet right there, so it was never really a problem. Even at apartments, fortunately for me, like the customer was like on the outer building, so I could hook up to their unit and detail right outside their unit. With water, a lot of times they have like a wash station that you can go like maybe pay like a few dollars in coins to use their water. So all those are options, and the thing with it is like, you need to have the mindset of like, I'm gonna be able to figure out this solution to this regardless of what it is, right? Like if you're looking for like an ABC plan every single time, it's not gonna work out. You just have to have that open mindset of like, hey, I'm not sure what's gonna happen, but regardless of what it is, I'll figure it out, right? So like a lot of you like ask me very specific questions like, hey, how do you do exactly this? And a lot of times like I haven't gone through that, but when I'm there, I'll figure it out. And that's with anything, with like, I don't know how to clean this, I don't know how to detail this isn't, this, what I thought would work on this paint is not working. Like, you just have to have that open mindset of like, whatever it is, I'll figure it out. That's it. So there were a few times where either I thought the outlet was gonna be, like a short distance between the driveway and the door, and it ends up like that electrical outlet isn't working, so I have to feed it towards like the backyard one, which like it really shortens up how much distance I have with the electrical cord. And I carry a 50-footer. Only a few times was it too short, but that's usually way more than enough for me, so I don't need to carry a 100-foot electrical cord. There's been times where like maybe the water hose is like so kinky and like leaking and it's annoying, but now I carry my own retractable orange hose that I got at Target for like 25 bucks. So that, there's things that you can do to mitigate it. Like if you're gonna go to an apartment and you don't have water, right? You don't have a water tank. You just get there and you're like, oh man, I was gonna wash this car, I have no water. No, if you know in advance, you're gonna ask them, hey, is there a car wash station there? Is there an electrical outlet nearby? If you're gonna go to an off location, meaning not a home location, take your 5-gallon bucket filled with water already. Take an extra one if you need to. Like for me, I have my bucket of water. If I need it, I'll fill it up. And then I carry a 5-gallon jug container with 5 gallons of water. So I can carry 10 gallons of water and use that where it needs to be used. So, you know, there's things you can do to mitigate it if you don't have all those tools and products. But I would say like the first, if you're debating whether you want like a pressure washer, water tank, generator, I would say generator is the primary one you should go with first, just because it opens up more flexibility. Just because like with a pressure washer, like whether it's gas or electric, depending on what you're using, what van you're using and such, maybe you don't have enough room, maybe it's just out of your budget, but you can get like a battery powered pressure washer, like the Works one. Not strong at all, like, but it gets the job done for what it is, and you can hook it up to your water source, so you can get the job done like that. But the generator is probably like the best thing that you can do. And I have two now. I have the Honda 2000, and then I have the Honda Predator. Forgot what it's called, but and I mean I have had absolutely zero problem with the Honda Predator. I think it's like their newer version one, because I previously had their old one, and it just looks different now. I think like out the door out of Harbor Freight, it was like $600, and it was just like it's like well priced. It's been working absolutely fine with absolutely no problems whatsoever. So I do recommend it, and it's like $600, and that was like with warranty, I think. So no problem. So you don't need to save up for like a $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 generator, just because you don't really need all that power when you're first starting off. If so, how was that experiment? What was your biggest motivation for not going to a water tank generator setup? Well, for one, I have a 2009 HHR panel, not big at all, so I'm very limited on what I can put in there anyways. But from the start, I just knew I didn't want to go with like a big setup, just because like I knew if I just went with the essentials and just took what I really needed, I don't need this big old van to carry everything. And coming from my personal vehicle, which was a 2003 Toyota Matrix XRS, I was able to carry everything that I needed in that vehicle and travel to customers' location. So after doing that with that vehicle, I wasn't like, okay, I fit mostly everything in here. Sure, it was a few troubles here and there, but if I upgrade to like a dedicated mobile detailing van of that similar size, I should be good. So I got the HHR panel, and you know, not the most spacious, but it's small, compact, and for the things that I carry, for what I aim for in my business and my goals and all that jazz, it worked great for me. Now, if you're the type that like wants to carry everything and wants that 35, 50, 75 gallon water tank and wants that gas pressure washer, and you want that generator, and you want to carry your 3-4 polishers all the time, and you want to put all your pads and towels and your towel basket, and you want to carry a ladder and all that jazz, you're gonna need a bigger vehicle. And the thing with that is like, the bigger the vehicle, the more things you're gonna put in there, just regardless. Like if you gave me, you know, a Mercedes Sprinter, right? I'll find things to put in there because there's a lot of room. So like I can, you know, empty space is like unused, wasted space. So you're gonna want to fill it up with something. But you know, regardless of what you have, like you can make, depending on what you're doing and such, but depending on the car that you have, you can make it fit, right? Because I started with a wagon or a hatchback. Forgot what it's a 2003 Toyota Matrix XR. I think it was like a wagon. It's what it's considered. And I just folded the rear seats, everything fit in there. If you have a single cab truck, you can start with that. If you have a crew cab truck, you can start with that. If you have a sedan, it's not gonna be pretty, but I've seen dozens of detailers start with their sedan and are still running their business in their sedan, because like that's just a form of transportation. Like if you just really boil down what you need, like what you really need, you can get it done. So for me, why I didn't go that route, I just knew I wasn't gonna be the type to want to carry everything. Down the line, will I upgrade to a bigger van? Sure. I mean that's definitely an option. Right now, is that like in my plans? Not really. But am I saying I'll never upgrade? No, of course not. Like, you know, there's gonna be a time and place for everything. But you know, there's like a lot of you that think you need like you need a bigger van to seem professional, or like it's just a thing you need, right? Like you're gonna save or you're gonna get a loan. Like it's really not that big of a deal. You just need to use a vehicle to transport your items to the customer's location. Whether that's your little crew cab, whether you get a little trailer, which I'm not a fan of trailers at all, but if that's what you can get, if you know, whatever it is, like you just need to go from here to there to work on the customer's vehicle. So hopefully that helped. And I've seen detailers with like similar small vehicles still carry a water tank and a pressure washer and a generator, pressure washer, water tank. And like, let's say like my HHR panel, I've seen people with like a 40-gallon water tank with a pump, with a pressure washer, with a generator, and do all that jazz. It's a much smaller vehicle, but you can still get it done. So hopefully that answered your question. Let me go over it one more time. Have you been using customer? Yes, overall not bad. Once I got the generator, things got a lot easier for me because now I wasn't worried about like where am I gonna park relative to the outlet, right? I could really just park anywhere and get going, assuming I don't need a water. And even then, if I did need water, I have the bucket, I have the container, and I could just use my Works, hook it up to that water source, and just start spraying the vehicle down. Not the strongest, not gonna really blow your boots off, but it's good enough for what it is. But yeah, so make sure to follow me on Instagram as I'm answering a lot of people in the DMs. I'm posting a lot, and it's just a good place to follow me too. So follow me on Instagram. Let me know if you have any comments, questions, concerns in the comment section down below, and I'll see you on Instagram and on YouTube later at some point. Okay.